Hey everybody, Demarco and Eric here with another episode of Deadlifts, Dogs, and Dad Jokes. We're very excited here. We've got a very special guest today. It's actually a Beers and Bells alumni, somebody that actually started the podcast with us last year. No, 2 years ago now. I think it was the very
seems to be, yeah.
Yeah, it was like when beginning of the pandemic started together, and had some changes obviously, but we've got a super fun guest here. A lot of you will recognize him from those older episodes, but it's Mr. Sean Bryan. He's a really good friend of mine. He's a personal trainer, strength coach, and he's got more certifications than I can even count up to. And great experience. You know, his values really align with ours as far as coaching, and soon to be his next role, which we'll be talking about soon. He's going to be a dad starting in a couple of months, which is really cool. Which you're already a dad now because you're already mentally and emotionally preparing for it. So you're
getting in the zone.
Yeah, Sean, I want to early congratulate you on that, by the way.
Yeah, man.
I appreciate that. Thank you. I appreciate that.
No, we're excited, man. And I'll tell you this, and then we'll keep moving along. You'll be surprised how much your training experience and those like soft skills that you've learned will actually carry over into taking care of a child. There's
I imagine,
teaching, guiding, developing, being patient, dealing with setbacks, and putting together a plan. There's a lot of cool stuff about that. But anyways, so Mr. Sean Mark Bryan, welcome to the show. How's it going, man?
It's going well. I appreciate you guys having me. Like I said, it's it's been a while. I can't believe it's 2 years, it seems, since we started, the other one. And, obviously, my schedule and stuff changed, and I'm in Salem now, so things are different, but, happy to be here. Glad we got this going, and looking forward to, at least maybe co-hosting a couple things if you'll have me, in the future. So.
Oh, absolutely, man. No, I'm super pumped to have you back on here. It feels like we're kind of full circle. In a super set. What we'll do is we'll just have some fun, very informal today. I want to talk about, your career, what got you into fitness, what brought you up to this point. We'll talk about your values as a coach and a trainer, your why, and just to kind of keep it simple, we'll just Eric and I will just go back and forth. We'll just kind of ping pong back and forth. So I'll just open up. You can just go ahead and give us the Cliff Notes version. What got you into fitness, and what's the current kind of state of your fitness career?
Yeah. So, oddly enough, like I always felt like I wanted to be a coach of some sort. It was a little bit of burnout from my undergrad that kind of led me to become a trainer sooner. Because I thought I initially planned to stick it out and go to DPT school, physical therapy, and maybe do the personal training aspect of it as well, so I can help people, with the rehab stuff, and then building strength and whatnot after the fact. But I was a little burnt out from my undergrad, so I said, hey, let me get certified, go look for a job. Boston Sports Clubs, where I met you guys, and I just fell in love with it. I wanted to keep moving forward with it and allow myself to progress professionally speaking, by just getting more certifications. Will I ever go back to school for a little something else? Maybe, but I'm not really feeling the physical therapy route anymore. I just fell in love with meeting my clients and helping them hit those goals, whatever they may be, all walks of life, different ages, and I just stuck with that for going on about 5 years now. So that's what got me into the industry. And but to go deeper than that, what kept me in the industry? Because I'm sure we all go through that burnout within the first year and a half or so of being a trainer. What really kept me in the industry was seeing like that mindset shift for my clients, where they start to care less about the number on the scale and more about the being able to move pain free, being able to become their stronger selves every day. Because you guys know as well as I do, consistency is the name of the game. So if they're so dead set on I want to drop 50 pounds in 3 months or whatever it may be. We hear stuff like that all the time. Or they want to put 25 pounds of muscle on in 2 months, whatever it may be. We know it's going to take longer than that. And we know it's, more work than people are willing to put the work in for, the time in for. So getting them hooked on those, like, I guess I'll call them side goals of like I said, being able to squat deeper without knee pain than they've ever been able to, or being able to do 10 full bodyweight push-ups on the feet as opposed to like barely 5 on the knee. When they start to care more about stuff like that, that's what keeps them hooked. long enough to hit the goals that they initially had. So that's what kept me in the industry, was seeing how happy my clients become when they kind of not forget about their main goals, the goals that brought them to me. Cause like, we still want to get the body fat down if that's what you want. We still want to get the extra muscle on if that's what you want. But seeing how happy they get when they care more about the other stuff. And that's what keeps them coming for years at a time. That's what kept me in the industry. And that's what's keeping me going right now.
100%. Yeah, I like how you alluded to that. It's not about the scale, focusing more on the processes behind, getting stronger and focusing on like mobility, or focusing on something that's going to be outside of what most people initially, back when you first started as a trainer, that's a lot of times people just gravitate to like, let's see if the scale numbers improved. You know what I mean? And I think that you do a good job of, and we all have gotten better over the years, being able to understand it's more than just a scale, and being able to progress in a lot of other ways. And I was going to ask you for like we'll start with your 2022 goals. Is there certain things you're trying to accomplish this year that it could be from a fitness route, could just be personal route, just etc.
Yeah. So, I mean, for me, like I used to, probably like anybody, in terms of my own fitness goals, I used to want that 6-pack. I used to want to be able to bench press 300 pounds, whatever it may be. Well, I don't care about that stuff as much anymore. I care more about, as I mentioned for my clients, being able to move pain free, being my stronger self every day. Yeah, there's certain lifts I want to see those numbers go up, because that's just what I like, but my fitness goals are going to change, seeing as I have a son on the way. So I'm really getting in that habit of like kind of quicker workouts with the kettlebells. Again, that's one of the reasons I wanted to become certified through 2 organizations at this point, for my own training, but also training for my clients. So fitness goals, I'm aware that's going to take a bit of a hit. I may not be able to work out as much as I'd like to because I'm with the baby, and that's fine. So I'll really utilize those quicker workouts. I'm totally ready to, or at least I say I'm ready to kind of shift and, do what I can as far as movement with whatever time I have, now that most of my day is going to be taken up with my son. For my clients, I'm really trying to get into a routine of being at the gym. One of the places I work at right now, Drive Custom Fit. It's in Salem, New Hampshire. Great facility. Definitely would love to have you guys come by and check it out one day. But I'll try to be here, help as many people as I can, as many classes I can teach from like 5 to 1, like Monday through Friday for the most part. We open pretty early. And then my own, for SB Fitness, my side business, I'll call it, my own, personal thing, Zoom sessions. I'm running up programs for some people. They just, if they just want the monthly programming, and of course, I'm still doing one-on-ones at a couple of different locations in Massachusetts, actually. So I'm kind of all over the place. I'm going to have to tighten up the schedule a little bit, of course, when Russell gets here. But it's just getting into a routine where I can still be as flexible as possible for my wife's sake. Helping her out with the baby and such. Getting used to her schedule too. So helping as many people as I can, but within reason with my different schedule coming up soon. So that's my goal for 2022. Obviously Russell above everybody else because he's my son, but also like helping as many people as I can without spreading myself too thin.
Got it.
That's great, man. Yeah, and that's going to be a challenge for you for sure. It's been, I'm almost a year into this game, and it's still a challenge, and I'm still definitely learning. And every day brings a new challenge. It's kind of like a video game. You level up, and you're feeling good. You got your your power level and everything's increased, but then also the game itself gets more challenging. So yeah, but it's fun. It's an adventure, and you'll do it, man. You're a hard worker. You've got that's one of the many reasons that I work with you. It's why you're my coach. You're a hardworking SOB, and you always find a way to do it. And it's going to be cool, man. You guys are gonna, and I think with Michaela's work schedule, obviously she's WFH, so that's gonna be allow for a lot of flexibility. But you guys will figure it out. To be fair, your 2021 is definitely highlight reel worthy. You made some major life changes that last year.
Yeah.
If I go through the timeline, don't hesitate to correct.
Go for it.
Let's see. You bought a house.
Mm-hmm.
You got married. You adopted another dog.
Yep.
and now you have, obviously you're about to have a baby, but the said bagel was put into the oven in 2020.
Correct. Yes. That's yep.
So you got to set
Sausage, egg, and cheese, if anything, on a bagel. But yeah, yeah. Some of that, the house thing, anyways, and the engagement was 2020.
yeah.
Yeah, and then correct 2021. We got married in March. Kind of under the table type thing, but and then yeah, shortly after June-ish, July, I think, found out we were pregnant. We got the other dog shortly after that, and yeah, we're just living life, cruising through. Just setting ourselves up well for the baby. We're just putting the nursery together and stuff. So it's fun stuff. I didn't think I'd get to at this point in my life. I thought it'd be another couple of years maybe, but I couldn't be happier.
Living your best life, Sean.
Trying.
Yeah. Love it.
Trying to. Yep.
It's awesome. So what's your, obviously outside of everything that's going on this year, you've had a busy year. Just what's some things on the excuse me, what's some things on the horizon? Anything, you sort of alluded to it, but anything that you're like projects you're looking to get into or something, personally, like I said, or more from a job standpoint?
I mean, I guess it kind of all comes down to the job, I guess, because that's, it's just a big part of my life, of course.
Yeah.
Given my schedule of like being here at this gym and then my own business and stuff. But yeah, I'd really like to find some time to maybe go through precision nutrition, get certification, stuff that I really tried to do right before the pandemic hit. Like I was going to go for my barbell certification. I wanted to do that, like get some kind of nutrition background more than I have at the moment, just to better myself, but also for my clients, like more at their disposal kind of thing to, what they're buying into. So couldn't quite put a timeline on that now. I would definitely like to hit the barbell cert soon, probably with Phil from DV8. Hopefully, in person would be great as well. So that's definitely a goal of mine soon. Hopefully, more certifications. Always keep learning, and with the precision nutrition as well. So yeah, that's definitely the fitness piece, and then just a regular outside work. Continuing to be a good husband and make Michaela's life easier because she's going to be just as busy as I am soon enough, and continue to do projects around the house. Make the house our own because we bought it from my in-laws. So there's some stuff that still has been the same for 20 plus years. So we're trying to phase into getting some make it our own kind of thing. So that's pretty much what I got going on.
Yeah, it's great stuff, man. It's you're already doing this, so this isn't really me giving you advice, but you're getting as much done now as you can before Russell's born, because time will not be as abundant very soon as it is now. So you're being smart. You guys are getting as much done now as you can, which is great. Just plan ahead as much as you can and prepare for chaos. But
yeah, exactly.
So what would you say? We've kind of already alluded to this, but I want to go a little bit deeper into it, and really more so for the audience. You and I have talked about this a dozen times at least, if more. What is your driving philosophy behind coaching? What's the you talked about moving well, feeling good and getting stronger. What gets you out of bed every single day for coaching?
Great question. Yeah. So definitely not to sound like a broken record with what I was saying earlier, but yeah, having people appreciate the power of movement as opposed to, I gotta punish myself for going too hard on the holidays with the booze, with the food, whatever. I mean, again, everyone's going to have that mentality sometimes, even us, maybe, every now and then, I gotta hit that workout tomorrow because I had too much fun yesterday. But I used to think like that all the time. Now it's very rarely, if at all. So I try to have that instilled in my clients as well. Not using working out as like a means of punishment. It's a, and this is not my quote by any means, but I saw it one day and I loved it. It's a celebration of movement, not so much a punishment of like all the fun you were having, whatever. So I try to instill that in my clients every day. That's definitely part of what gets me out of bed, because each day I want to, I'm not trying to mind control them or anything, but like reframe their thinking on fitness. There's a reason they came to me in the first place to, hopefully better themselves in some one way or another. So, be that guiding hand, but, kind of back off in a sense sometimes and let them kind of figure certain things out on their own. I don't want to give them every cue in the book for like a certain movement. I'll give them a little bit to work on, and then give them some time to work on it, and then see what happens throughout the session. So just knowing that they're putting their time and their money in me technically, and that's definitely what helps me get out of bed for those early sessions, those early classes. It's a two-way street. It's not just they pay me, they go home, I see them next week. It's like I'm giving them the extra workouts if they want to do it. My phone's always open for the most part, as long as I can shoot them a text, if they have questions or whatever, if they're hitting one of the workouts on their own. So just again, being that guiding hand, and being a friend too. Some sessions are mostly talking, if we're being honest. We're unlicensed therapists to a degree, so I've always loved helping people. Like I find I take a point of pride of like when people can vent to me if they need help with whatever, even if it's just to listen. Maybe I don't even give advice. Maybe they just need to talk. And then my love of fitness, those two things just go hand in hand. Being able to help them in more ways than one, no matter what their goals may be. And if I can't help them because they need such a specific thing from somebody else, swallowing my pride and being able to give them off to somebody else who can help them more than me. I'm only going to hurt them if I pretend I know what I'm doing when it's out of my area of expertise. So, just being smart as a trainer, going on, like I said, 5 years at this point. It's not that first year trainer stuff where, I'm going to take any client no matter what they want, and I'll figure it out. Like sometimes you can't. Sometimes you got to refer them off to somebody else. So, just kind of roundabout way of saying, that's what gets me out of bed, of being able to help people in whatever way that I can.
That's awesome, man. Yeah, and I think one of your big strengths, and I can say this obviously because I've been a client of yours for almost 3 years now.
Yeah,
is you're very creative. You've always been really creative with changing up movements and adding a little bit of variety. But enough variety to keep it from getting stale, but not so much that we're deviating from our plan and from our program and from what adaptations we're training for, i.e. follow the program. So I've always been amazed, and it's cool because like you just said, people invest their time, money, and energy into training with you. I get the double whammy benefit of not only getting the fitness benefits from you, but I also learn from you, and I get to add that to my toolbox of movements and and things to use for my clients, which is really cool. So Eric, what you got?
Yeah. I was going to say a lot of good points arise. I wrote a couple notes. I think the reframing the client's thoughts, as far as you had mentioned previously, that was spot on. I think a lot of times, again, you're not going to say like, you're not going to meet with somebody right away and be like, you should do blank, based on whatever they're telling you. Like they may have their thoughts on fitness, lifestyle, stuff like that. But like you said, I think reframing and then just trying to help them understand where they're at now and being able to like progress them along through what you've learned over the years and things like that. So I think being their GPS guide essentially, and you do a great job of that. I know I saw it at Boston Sports Club. There's no doubt. And that was in your early stages, right? That was your first PT job, right?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I think I saw that like right away. I remember when you started there, and again, I wasn't even full time there. I was coming from Woburn, and I would see you and I'd be like, he already gets it, and as you said, like you mentioned too, how you're like, I want to keep learning. I'm always learning. I want to get more certifications, and it's not all about the alphabet soup after your name. However, you use the word learning. You're not just like, you're not saying like, hey, I just want to get all these certs. So I'm, I look fancy after my, after my name, it's like, you're like, I just want to get better. I want to continue to improve and invest in myself. I would say for me, that's a big goal for 2022. I think I've kind of taken a back seat to, I don't want to say to learning, because I'm learning every day at my lifetime, but, and online, I keep in touch with a lot of the Boyles coaches. So I think I do a good job with all that, but I definitely could invest, literally invest more in certifications and seminars and things like that. I know with COVID, I've been kind of like lazy about it, if that makes sense. But I know like if I have people like you guys, and obviously some of my staff at Lifetime, some Boyles coaches, I definitely want to get some people together, and when we can, as far as availability and whatever else, like go to seminars, and we're not all going to be able to go, but at least some of us try to go. And I think we have like-minded people all together. we're going to make an impact. So,
Well, I think, Eric,
yeah,
I think one day you should definitely come with us, and we should all do a DV cert together. I think you would love it.
think
Like you
so.
can really dive into the kettlebell. And Phil
Yeah,
and Sean had mentioned this earlier. Phil has actually added a barbell component to it.
oh,
So
I love
there's
that. Yeah,
basically what, Sean? There's kettlebell, pretty much all of them now. Kettlebell. There's body weight work in there.
yeah,
Indian club. Yeah,
Indian
yeah,
I
club,
love that.
and now barbell. So, and
Yeah,
he's really good at putting them together, which is really cool.
I
So
love that. Yeah.
that's
Well, another.
23 goal.
Yeah. Well, another. I agree with that. And then another point, Sean, you made just kind of about how it's more as far as like when clients are coming in, it's more about the celebration of movement. Kind of you alluded to that as well. And I think
right.
that's important too. Like the relationship you have with your training, the relationship you have with food, lifestyle,
Mhm.
all that stuff, that becomes so crucial. Because again, people just try to torture themselves. So on the holidays, they're like, oh my God, like I ate like shit. Now I need to work out extremely hard to work off all that food. Right. And I
Right.
think of it more as like you're trying to just help yourself feel better, as far as like whether it's mindset wise, whether it's just body in general, just being able to think of it less of as like I got to burn as many calories as possible, and think of it more as like I want to get better at the skill in the process of blank, whatever it is, training, nutrition, lifestyle, whatever it is. And then over
Right.
that process, that's where, again, you're just going to get better and better. And then you'll understand like, okay, I probably need time to recover. Recovery is
Mhm.
such a big process in training. If you're not recovering, then inflammation is just going to go through the roof and you're not going to get the results you're looking for. So I think like I'm real, like you guys are what you're Demarco, you're what, 31?
31, almost 32.
Yeah. Sean, you're what, 29, 20?
27. 27.
Oh, geez, I
Yep.
said you're a little older. I knew you were like up there, but I wasn't sure.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
so as I've hit the ripe old age of 32 now, I've realized finally I'm getting it that like, again, you alluded to it too, Sean, as well. Like we're gonna have we're like we're humans like anybody else. So sometimes we'll want to go like really hard, and we probably shouldn't have pushed that hard as far as in our training or whatever we're trying to do. But in reality, like you realize that it's not going to probably get you anywhere. It's gonna just make you either get hurt or you're not going to make progress. So I think over time you realize that, and then like I said, I think I'm starting to have that epiphany moment. Obviously, it's that slow process. I'm sure I'll still make mistakes on it, but yeah, you alluded to that. And like I said, that the celebration of movement, that's definitely a good point. And then the other thing too, you had sort of alluded to too, is like you're not going to take every client anymore. You said that like sometimes you may hand off a client. When we first started, it's like we wanted to take everybody. I was like, I think I might have said this in a previous episode, but like I would train the trash can. I would train whoever. Like I just wanted to like, I just wanted
Right,
to like,
right.
I would talk to the wall. Jesus. Like I literally would talk to anybody. So it's like in reality over time, you're like, okay, like I want to be intentional with like the types of people I want to train. Like, there's certain, we have like a little bit more or less niches, or at least things that people or clientele that we prefer. So I think
Mhm.
it's once you get to that point, it's like, okay, like these are the type of people that I work well with. Like send me more of these people, that kind of thing. So like you're going to be more intentional with like, okay, I work well with this person. Oh, I don't work well with this person. I'll hand it off to this trainer, or whatever. So I think you do a good, you're getting that as well. I think the evolution of the strength coach / personal trainer, we're all sort of working our way up to what we're all kind of talking about now. So it's all
Yeah,
good.
like just an example of like a client I've handed off before, or at least a consultation even, is like someone who wants to learn more about Olympic lifting. As
Yeah.
cool as it looks, I don't know nearly as much about that as I do about kettlebells or body
Yep.
weight or what have you. Like I know the barbell, like powerlifting barbell stuff. Sure, I'll take anybody for that. But
Yeah.
Olympic lifting, it's just not. You can't do everything for the most part. You can't be able to teach absolutely everybody. So again, it's just for the sake of setting them up for success. Like, yeah, if you don't get them as a client, at least they're going to be safe learning and be able to learn from someone who knows what the hell they're talking about. So,
Definitely.
yeah, that's a big thing for sure.
Well, what would be, so I asked this to KD in the last episode. What would your advice be to your younger self?
I love this question because I feel like even on another episode I've been asked this, and it's, I'm sure you asked that to everybody, but
Yep.
my younger self, yeah, definitely kind of what I talked about earlier. Never stop learning, because it's just you don't want to become complacent.
Mm.
for your own sake and for your potential clients in the future, you want to be able to help them as much as you can. That's why I want to delve deeper into the nutrition and learn more about the barbell more than I already know. And then also like to to not spread yourself too thin. You kind of have to do that when you start. It's those split shifts and such. But once you get the hang of it and you can like reform your schedule the way you want to, like now I have certain hours I know I'm going to hit whatever many sessions I can. Prior, I would say yes to anybody. 9:00 on a Monday night, sure, if we were even open, I don't know, but yeah. So like that's the young man's game, I'd say. Like keep up with that, but you're gonna get into a rhythm where, because other things in life pop up, a relationship, a kid, whatever. Like you can't be doing that anymore. You gotta find a schedule because you're in charge of another life now, a partner, what have you. So, and yeah, I guess I already kind of mentioned it. Like there are clients I did take on, or even thought about taking on that I probably shouldn't have. But it's just getting into the industry. I need money. I got student loans. You know what I mean? So I think telling myself with those maybe 2 or 3 people I took on, and it ended up working out. But hey, swallow your pride. Hand it off to this other person, Tim Reed, to be specific. Like this guy knows more about what this person needs. Why would I try to pretend I know what I'm doing when he could help them better? That kind of thing, So I would tell my younger self that as well.
I like that.
Definitely, man. Yeah, no, I couldn't agree more. And that's it can be hard. Of course, when you're first getting started, you'll take any client. You need income, right? You can't work for free. But yeah, I think I couldn't agree with you more. The more experience I get, the more selective I become with whom I can train. So I think that's awesome. One of the biggest lessons you taught me, funny enough, because you're the younger guy, but I've definitely learned from you is knowing when to take 1 or 2 steps back in order to take 3 or 4, hopefully even more than that, steps forward. You remember we're still doing the simple and sinister training and made great progress, obviously. But I was beating my head against the wall on that 40. I was getting pissed off, and I was just crapping out, at a certain point, and I couldn't make progress. And and you just said, and it's funny because a couple years ago I probably would have said hell no, but you said let's take a step back and let's master the 36. And 3 years ago I would have said, F you, man, we're getting the 40, put on some Metallica and let's effing go.
You're right. Yep.
But it ended up being the right thing to do because we did it. We took that step back. We were doing, good kind of medium to high volume work on it. Totally owned the 36. Then we came at it again with the 40 with a better base. Same thing. And then I've noticed since we did that, I've actually progressed to the next bell even a little bit faster, which has been pretty cool. So that's one thing I definitely learned from you is, know when to step back a little bit when your body's failing you. Because I was just, my sleep was total trash back then. And I was just stubbornly trying to keep going. And it's, there's a point. Yeah, luckily we didn't get to that point, knock on wood. But there is a point where of course, injury and other bad things can occur. So you pulled me back from the ledge, which that's one of the reasons having a great coach is a great investment.
Sean, I was going to ask, so Cliff Notes version of, because you had mentioned obviously a lot of learning in the last couple of years, stuff like that. We've been a while since we've had you on, so I'm just curious from a programming, we'll say, more or less change in the last 3 or 4 years. Has there been updates? Are you pretty much keeping it as far as the way you're programming for your clients? Has it changed a lot in the last, we'll say 2-3 years, or is it about the same? I mean, obviously, again, the key principles I'm sure are still there, but as you know, we're always updating, evolving, and trying to progress. So is there anything that you've changed?
Yeah, that's a great question. Yeah, because I honestly recently I was talking to myself about that, I guess. Putting less emphasis on some of the workouts I give my clients when they're alone. Stuff I know they can handle. That's always been the case. I'm not going to give someone something where A, they don't even recognize the name, or B, realistically, they should probably have me there or somebody there with them. It's the accessory movements that I give them. So that's always been the case. But, I'm not going to name names, but one of my clients recently, she, it was just tougher for her to hit the workouts. Like I would program so it would roughly take 45 minutes to an hour, and that's what she wanted, and that's fine. But then it kind of came to the point where she'd be running late because of work or school. So kind of whittling down the workouts to smaller ones, which is something similar I'm going to have to do soon. To like more palatable workouts, like 20 to 30 minutes maybe. So I've kind of gotten into that habit recently with a lot of my clients, because I realize how much other people will benefit from it too. Like, oh, I noticed you didn't do this workout, and I'm never going to bully someone into doing it. I read it up for you, but it is on you to do it. So, and if you don't, but you still want to stay active, all right, what can we do to make it so that you're more likely to do it? Maybe it's cut it in half and put that other half on another day. Maybe it's like some EMOM work, where you can set the clock, you have X amount of reps of this movement you got to hit, kettlebell swings. Great, your workout's done in 20 minutes. Maybe that's something more suitable for like your nursing clients, because their schedules are all over the place, stuff like that. Yeah. So I definitely shied away from, the way I program for certain people, because it just got to the point where they couldn't handle it anymore, like time wise. So just play the client in front of you, and, make it so that it's not a cookie cutter thing. It's not like, oh, 5 people, different goals, all of them, here's the same workout.
Yeah,
no, like I've never done that, but it's way more individualized now than it ever has been.
Sounds great. Yeah, that's exactly where I'm at with it too. I think you nailed it too. Just being able to do shorter workouts. I agree 100% with that. And then too, like based on what the client is able to do, as far as like so like some clients with their schedules just don't have allotted more than an hour anyways. It's like, and like you said, you don't give as much on the days you're not with them. Is that what you had said too?
Yeah, usually? Yeah. Like, I mean, if I know they can hit some squats, like if a back squat is an example, if that's what they want to do, if like I'll give them a lighter volume day, of course, like stuff that generally speaking they won't need a spotter for, that kind of thing. Yeah, and so, but for the most part, yeah, like just accessory movements, stuff that we're not hitting in our sessions that they should be hitting throughout the week, that I know they know how to do, and they won't have any questions on. That's the stuff that I want them to do on their own.
Got it. Okay. And then is there any sort of, so outside like the programming side of things, like lifestyle nutrition tips? I know, again, you said you're not certified nutrition, but do you have like, just basic tips throughout sessions? Is there things that you
Yeah, I was just talking to a consultation I had right before you guys about that. Like I said, hey, if I've had people ask me for like every single day, this is what I got to eat. I'm not licensed to do that. So again, I'm not gonna pretend that I am. Like I'll be upfront with you, but tips and stuff for sure. Like we talk about water, what their intake should be roughly. Just setting themselves up for that, because a lot of people are way under what they should be drinking and they don't even realize it. How the importance of water and recovery and what that'll do for them, especially now that they're starting a consistent workout program. It's like you need more water. Emphasizing protein. We'll talk about macro breakdowns for the most part. Like I can give you a rough calculation of what you should be taking in depending on your goal. Do you prefer higher fat or higher carb? Great. It's one or the other. You can't have both too high if your goal is to be in a calorie deficit, whatever. But definitely prioritizing protein if they're on the days they're working out, but also, this is roughly what you should be taking in when you're not working out. Stuff like that. I'll give them ideas. Like people ask me what I eat and I'll tell them, but I'll say like, that doesn't mean that you have to eat that. My height, weight, everything's different than you are. But if you're curious as to what I'm eating, here, sure. Like I meal prep some stuff. I'll give you some ideas, but I'm not saying you got to eat this. Right. I'll give you what I can within my scope of expertise, but that's about it.
Nice. And then lifestyle stuff, same idea. You probably like sleep and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, sorry. Yeah, sleep for sure. Prioritize like, hey, put the phone away earlier than you normally would if that's what keeps you awake at night. Stuff like that. I'm big on. I actually have like a cheat sheet thing I'm typing up of like, hey, here's some tips and tricks that you don't normally think about. You can't squeeze a workout in, but you watch 2 hours of Netflix every night. Like maybe let's combine that a little bit. Maybe if you like being on the treadmill, who's to say you can't hit the treadmill incline for 30 minutes and watch this episode of The Office or whatever, you're watching football all Sunday, every commercial, give yourself, 10 push-ups and 10 jumping jacks, like stuff like that, weaving in movement when people otherwise don't think they can.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Anything to add to that, Demarco?
No, that's great stuff, man. One thing I really took for granted for the longest time was the value of really just a little bit of work and
Yep.
how it can actually really benefit, like kind of sprinkling. There were, again, I've got my fingers crossed that this is not the case for you, Sean. However, my sweet baby girl Vivi was very challenging at night for quite a while, and bedtime was a straight up war. It was,
Yep.
but things are better now, and we love her, and it's all good. Obviously, we wouldn't change anything. I love her to death, and she's about to hit her first birthday, which is just wild to think about. But anyways,
I know.
I remember days where Lauren was, when Lauren was still on maternity leave, and we were just exhausted. We're trying to take care of her, trying to get on some kind of a schedule, and the first 3 months are just a straight up crapshoot. Like it's a blur, honestly. But anyways, we would try to make dinner, try to take care of her, try to keep the apartment clean, try to take care of my dog, and our cat, which cat's much lower maintenance, which is great.
Hmm.
But
Yep.
it was a logistical, quite a challenge, and our families live quite a ways away, so it was tough. But anyways, I remember days where we would do dinner, and right before dinner, I would knock out my kettlebell swings. I would do my 10 or 15-minute EMOM of my swings, and it's like, oh, got to eat, eating dinner now, and then doing the bedtime routine, and
Mhm.
then sometimes Vivi would stay asleep 30 minutes, sometimes even less than that, before she woke up, and we had to figure out what the hell we were going to do to get her to freaking sleep. But then I
Right.
would do my get ups later. And in my mind, I'm thinking, oh no, if I don't do it all together, all in once, the training effect, won't be as great. And that just wasn't true. If anything, my get ups were even better because I was a little bit more recovered, and
Yep.
I was still hitting my reps, and my grip was still getting stronger and all that. Um, I had days where I would do half of what I had planned to do because I just didn't feel as good that day. And, as a result of that, A, I kept myself from getting hurt. And B, now, almost a year later, I am light years beyond where I was back then. I'm training with much bigger weights now, and safely, of course, being the main piece there. Made great progress. Sometimes doing a little bit is more powerful than you think.
Definitely.
Yep. Like just just between my classes this morning, I had less than an hour, and so I did it on purpose, but I had a 20-minute EMOM comprised of rows and pistols, just like every minute I would do whichever one, and then later I have a 10-minute EMOM to do with get ups when I like hours from now when I get home, where uh, 3.5 years ago, Sean probably would have been like, "Oh, if I don't have an hour between these sessions, like, why even bother trying to work out? Or like,
Yeah.
let me hit it later, let me hit it tomorrow, whatever." Like, if that's how you are, that's fine. But at the same time, I'm like, there's no reason why I can't hit this today, even if it's not back to back. So like, I definitely do that a lot more, and that's what I tell my clients too. That's why you can work out more than you think you can. I'm not saying you got to go hard 7 days, but it's when you really learn how to allocate your time and be like, oh, I do have 25 minutes here that I can squeeze in this workout. Why didn't I think of that? It's huge. It's huge.
Yeah. Agreed. Agreed. I was gonna say next, let's get into the lightning round. I know, look at the time.
Absolutely, man.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, this is flowing great. This has been a great talk. So, Eric, start off the lightning round, my man.
Sean, what is your favorite Christmas movie?
Home Alone, and I get a lot of slack. I got a lot of slack for that recently because my two friends, I'll call them out, Alex and Rob, were saying that it's just a terrible movie. Like, how would that ever happen? Leaving this kid alone. I'm like, I understand that, but it's like, it's check the box office numbers. It's so up there in terms of
Dude,
Christmas
Home
movies.
Alone is
Like,
a classic.
Still
How
makes
could you
money.
hate that? That's blasphemy.
Guys, he
yeah,
still makes
I
money off that movie. I
I
think
had to call him out.
Macaulay Culkin, I think, still makes money off that movie. Pretty sure.
He should. He should. It's an instant classic. So, yep,
Yeah.
favorite movie.
What's your walkout song? You're coming out, whatever, wrestling or whatever. You're coming out in
Oh,
the yeah. What song?
I
You
love
put?
I love that question because I ask that all the time, and it's funny. I'm playing music all the time. I love music so much. I guess my current one is just because I'm kind of switching up a little bit. What's it called? I'm looking it up right now on Spotify. It's called shit. It's by Jay-Z.
It's new.
Um, no, no, no. It's hold on, I'm gonna look it up. Cause I want you guys to listen to it later. It just gets you, going.
Gets the people going.
Yeah, no, exactly. Higher. It's called Higher. Just Blaze and Jay-Z. Yeah, that's my go-to lately. So that's my walkout song.
I'm listening to that. I'm going to check it out.
Yeah.
Favorite exercise?
Oh, that's a
tough one.
tie, I guess.
Loaded question. I want you to give me your top three, actually. Top three.
Awesome. All right. In no particular order. Kettlebell swings, Turkish get up for sure, and one arm / one leg push-ups.
Damn. Okay.
You could just get so much done with that stuff.
Oh, I agree. It's good. I don't think I've heard that one. That's new. It's good. What's your vacation spot that you're looking to go to in the next couple of years? There's a spot that you're like, I gotta go here.
Well, I love. What's that?
A spot that you've never been to before.
Never been to. Okay, yeah. I'm a big cruise guy because it's just so simple. You pay for everything up front, you're good to go.
Yeah.
Unlimited drink package, by the way. So Michaela and I want to do the like a European cruise because she's been and I've never been. So, but also like we didn't really do a honeymoon, obviously because of everything going on. So I would love to go to Bora Bora.
Very cool.
That might be my top one.
This might be a weird question, but because we're deadlift dogs and dad jokes, favorite dog? I mean, obviously, I know you're gonna say your own dog, but like favorite breed? Is there a type of dog that you want or?
Yes, actually. So it's neither. I love my dogs. Don't get me wrong. One's a mutt, boxer beagle, and I think definitely pit bull as well. The other one is a labradoodle. Beautiful dogs. I'm a husky guy, husky German Shepherd guy.
Cool. What's your favorite deadlift variation?
Does sumo count?
Yes.
Okay. All right. I didn't know if it like other than like like a kettlebell or what have you, but yeah, definitely. I feel more powerful sumo.
It's like sumo barbell, right? You're saying
sumo, but yeah, sumo barbell. Sorry.
Sweet. Okay. I was going to ask you, what's your Super Bowl predictions this year?
Oh, all right. Well, what I want, or what at one point I thought would happen was Bucks and Pats would be unreal. But now it's not looking like that as much now with a couple injuries on the Bucks side, anyways. But I'm still going to go with that. I'm speaking it into existence. That's what I want to see.
And I have to say, at the Super Bowl halftime show, I'm wicked excited.
Oh yeah,
I'm foaming at the mouth thinking about it. Like Eminem, Dre, Snoop Dogg. Are you kidding me? And like it's going to be sick. It can't be bad unless they blow the stage up. Literally blow it up. Like it's.
Yeah.
The only thing is if there's technical issues, if they have audio problems, like the Chili Peppers.
That's kind of what I was alluding to. More or less.
If something goes bad, if something happens, just throw Eminem the mic and just go off and say something, and that's it.
Yep.
Let him handle.
Yeah, that would be fantastic. I'm looking forward to that.
Definitely. Who's your superhero outside of your wife?
All right, because I've given that answer before in another episode. So she would definitely be my top. But my superhero, are you like a person I know or like an actual like hero?
Could be Superman for all we know.
All right, well, I would definitely pick Captain America then, just because obviously I have the shield tattoo and such. But I'm gonna either say, if I can't say my wife because I've said that before, that's fine. If I can't say Captain America, I'm gonna be a little cheesy with this. Just all my good friends, anybody that betters me in one way or another, whether it's just hanging out, having a good time, or helping me learn. So like that includes you guys. So all encompassing as far as superheroes plural. And I don't care if that wasn't allowed. I'm going to stick with that.
And what TV show are you currently watching or want to watch? Anywhere, any streaming platform.
Yeah,
wherever.
The Office is always going. Like I actually have a free Peacock subscription because I have Xfinity. So I've frequented that a little bit too. Yeah, definitely behind on that. But New Girl and The Office are always on in the background for sure in my house. And I actually just started, Michaela and myself, Happy Endings. It's like a 3-season show. It didn't really last very long. It's a super quick watch. It's easy enough. So that's what we're watching now. But yeah.
What book are you looking to read this year?
Let's see. I would like to go back and reread. Demarco will say this all the time that I'm a slow reader. I would like to go back and reread. Very slow reader. I'm an audiobook guy, if anything, but I would like to go back and reread some of the Pavel's books, like the what's actually there's one book I bought from him and I never read it. I don't like I have it somewhere. What's it called? The Quick and the Dead. Is that the?
Yeah,
Yeah,
you'll
yeah,
love that. It's good.
yeah. So I don't know why I forgot to end up reading that, but yeah. And then in terms of like, I actually wouldn't mind going back and finishing the Harry Potter books. I've only read the first two, so if we're going like off the fitness route, I got to pick that back up again.
Funny you say that. They just had the Harry Potter. It was like a marathon on, I forget what network it was on. I was watching it the other day. They literally went through all the Harry Potter movies. I watched a couple.
Yep.
I haven't seen all of them. I've only seen a few of them, like two or
During
three.
the pandemic is when I sat down and really started watching all the ones I haven't seen. So because we had so much time. So yeah, that's on the agenda.
Nice, Demarco, take it away.
Yeah, man, that was solid. I'm just gonna try to add to it and give you the nerd side of the house. So protagonist and antagonist aside, as an overall, what's the best Marvel movie that you've ever seen?
I gotta say Endgame, only because I mean Infinity War was perfect. It really was. But I'd say Endgame is my one, just because of what it meant for the franchise and such.
Yeah.
I don't want to give any spoilers away for No Way Home Spider-Man, but that's in my top three now. I would say when I see it again, it may move even higher, like that into two or even one. But my top three are definitely Endgame, Infinity War, and then No Way Home. And that was a tough one to squeeze in there, just because of well, you'll see when you see the movie. But I think my top is definitely Endgame, just because of what it did for the franchise and like everything since 2008 leading up to it.
Yeah, no, great answer. I'm with you there. I haven't yet seen No Way Home. I'm planning on seeing it tomorrow, actually. But I think that overall, Endgame is a better movie. But I find that Infinity War is easier to rewatch, just because it picks up right after the Thor Ragnarok and the ship.
No, you're right. You're right about that.
It's just it's a cool build up, and it's a build up into obviously a no spoilers, but less than ideal end point, if you will. But yeah, no, I love that. Jedi or Sith?
Jedi,
my man. If you could, so I'm going to stick with the Marvel train because I'm a huge nerd on this stuff. If you could have any item in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, what would it be?
I think anyone would expect me to say Cap Shield, but I'm actually going to say Tony's nanotech, because I just having Tony's suit just be able to form around me at the just by thinking about it, that's I'd be unstoppable. I can deadlift 8,000 pounds if I wanted to. I would choose Tony's suit.
Oh, I think that's a great answer. And I got to be honest with you, I know I said this a while ago, and a lot of people are kind of shocked when I say this. My favorite Marvel movie is still Captain America: The Winter Soldier. I think it's a great story. I think it's fun, and
you're right.
That elevator sequence is just so badass.
I know.
Like you realize how much he holds back, so he doesn't severely hurt anybody when he throws Frank Grillo through the
Yep.
That's
it. That's probably my number 4. Like any of the Cap movies, like Civil War or Winter Soldier, like that. Those are real close, right behind like 4 and 5, probably for me.
Yeah, this one I'm going to go deep here with you. Whether it's hopefully by not just your words but also your actions, what is the most important thing that you want to teach your son?
Great question. Honestly, I don't know why I didn't expect you to ask that. I probably should have prepped for this a little bit more, but I want to teach him how to be like just the most gentleman person he can be. Always saying thank you. Just respecting others. That's a two-way street, of course. You gotta don't pass judgment early, kind of thing. Just be accepting of all walks of life, of course. That it's everyone's kind of battling their own battles. So for him not be that kid in school. I mean, kids are going to be, you know, everyone's a little bit of a bully when they're younger. That's just how it is. But kind of teaching them early as best as we can, like Kayla and myself, to you know, be as respectful and attentive in school, and just, you know, to be eventually his own, you know, when I have grandkids, you know, the best dad possible. So kind of setting them up for that success, you know, the whole way through, earning, you know, just earning his way through life, as far as like, you know, not, or how do I want to say that? Not just handing him things, you know, he's got to earn, he'll be doing chores around the house, got to learn the, you know, the benefit of hard work and what that can get you,
Like
instead of just like
discipline.
I guess, I don't know why I couldn't say that. Yeah. Correct.
Yeah.
Disciplined, and like, you know, he'll be doing chores, he'll be helping me in the yard and all that kind of stuff. So, yeah, just being the most well-rounded individual that I can make him.
Sean, I love that, man. That actually reminds me of a quote from Ryan Holiday, one of my favorite modern authors, who's written a bunch of really cool philosophy books. But his goal with he has two sons, I believe, and his plan is he wants his kids to have a good life, but not an easy life. So,
Oh yeah, exactly. I mean, I would love to be able to give him, in theory, an easy life, like working my ass off so that he, you know, can have not just all the fanciest toys and stuff, but like, you know, if he is a good kid and he works hard, and like, yeah, he deserves, I don't know, let's just say he wants the newest set of headphones, whatever, like being able to do that for him. But like, again, it comes at a price, and it's being a good person, and, you know, earning your keep around the house and stuff. Like, that's how I was brought up. You know, I'm not sitting on my ass when I go home from school. Like, I got a couple of chores I got to do here and there. It'll be the same thing.
well said, man. I think that's a good kind of point to end the main conversation on. Eric, you got a actually, Sean, do you have a terrible dad joke ready to roll?
Um, yeah, so I was flip flopping back and forth between so many different ones. One of which was the one I said to you the other day. I think I texted it to you.
Solid gold, by the way.
Yeah, I mean, one of my favorites is probably, yeah, let me just stick with that. One of my favorites, and then definitely I want to hear one from Eric, and you too as well if you have one. What do you? Yeah, I'll say that because it's been a while. What do you call a retired coal miner? Do you remember? Actually, I want to see if you remember this, because I've asked this on the podcast before.
I remember the question, but I don't remember the answer.
Too. Neither do I.
Yeah. So I'll say it again, and then I'll tell you the answer. What do you call a retired coal miner? And the answer is Doug. It's just so simple, and I just love it, you know, because it makes you think for a second, and you're like, oh shit, I get it. So now I'm sticking with that one.
What do you call fake noodles?
I do know the answer to this one, but I don't know if Demarco wants this. No. Impasta?
Pasta. Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, nice. That's awesome. How do celebrities stay cool?
I can't say I've heard this one before. How do celebrities stay cool? I don't know.
They have many fans.
Oh, you know what? Now, as soon as you started to say it, it was coming back to me. But that's it. You see, all so simple. And again, only dads or expecting dads or just people that appreciate dad jokes will understand and get these. So love that.
Yeah, good stuff. Well, I want to finish off with one more thing, Sean, just so everybody can kind of know. Where can people find you, and what services, if you want to just go ahead and list where they can find you on social and everywhere, and then what services that you offer through SB Fitness?
Yeah, for sure. So on Instagram, anyways, people can find me at it's actually a bunch of underscores, because apparently there are other SB Fitnesses out there. But yeah, it's like 3 underscores and then SB Fitness. You can find me through my personal page as well, on Facebook too. My services through that, my personal side business is one-on-one training, whether it's in person or on Zoom, at a studio or at your home, depending on schedules and travel and all that stuff. Again, I want to be able to help people in any way that I can, so I try to have a lot of avenues for that. Small group training as well. Like, I'm always down to train like a couple or like you know, a family even. And then I was doing some classes, hoping to get that started back up again at one of the studios. So stay tight, hanging for that one. And then now that I'm here at the gym in Salem, just to, of course, utilize a closer location to my house, Drive Custom Fit in Salem, New Hampshire. It's in the Tuscan Village. I'm sure some of you guys have been over there. It's a beautiful facility. I'm taking clients one-on-one, doing some boot camps, small group training, teaching classes as well. So just, again, kind of a little bit of everything. So if you're in the Salem area and you want a great facility to work out at, I'm training you here under Drive Custom Fit. If you're in the Massachusetts area, old clients or even some new clients as well, those are the people I'm taking for my business of SB Fitness.
Good stuff, man. That's fantastic. Eric, do you have anything that you want to add, or are you ready to close this thing up?
Close it out.
Awesome. Well, first off, I want to thank you so much, Sean, for your time. I know you're really busy these days. You're basically like Superman. You're in 7 places at once. But no, man, appreciate your time being on here. You know, I love talking with like-minded people and sharing, you know, values and ideas. Ideas are always really fun. And I'm so excited for you to start this new journey, this new chapter of your life. It's you know, buckle up, man. It's a bumpy ride, but it's fun. It's a lot of fun, and you know, you can't even describe or quantify the feeling of holding your child for the first time. It is like
it's going to turn me into a total sap. I'm aware. I'm not a crier. But I will be.
Oh, I cried as soon as I saw her. And then you know, I got to hold her first because Lauren had a C-section, so they, you know, had to put her back together. But no, it's like I could have, when I was holding her in the OR. I mean, you could have walked up and punched me right in the face. And I
wouldn't even notice.
I probably would have smiled and be like, "Hey, man, what's up?"
Yeah, exactly.
So it's exciting, man. You're gonna discover new things about yourself that you didn't know, and it's really cool. And I'm just excited for you, man. You've got great things coming, and I'm very, very happy and privileged to be your friend, and very excited for that stuff. So want to bring it back to all of you. Thank you all so much for tuning in to another episode of Deadlifts, Dogs, and Dad Jokes. You know, we had a great time with you. Hope you learned something. Hope you have something that you can take away, especially as we kind of start in the new year. People are thinking about New Year's resolutions, getting back in the game, back in the gym, and making better decisions. We are here to help you become your strongest self and have fun along the way. You know, we're not drill sergeants or you know, dictators. We want it to be a fun, you know, two-way street. So if there's anything you would like for us to cover in future episodes, you know, please hit us in the comments below. And until then, please remember to train your body and feed your mind.